Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Diz, a show that gives you everything you need to know to help make your Disney vacation as magical as can be in just about 20 minutes. I'm your host, Jeff Coviello. With me each week is Disney Master Sandy from Easy Diz by Instant Impressions Travel Services. Sandy, how are you this week?
I am doing great. Tonight is going to be so much fun.
Well, it's certainly going to be filled with a lot of information. We've talked at length about the magic that is California and that is Disneyland. And Disneyland has just such a great number of things throughout the year that they offer, some unique events and dates and things like that make it so special. So tonight, we're going to take you through the 2025 event calendar at Disneyland and break it down in detail.
And it is jam-packed. As you said, it is unique. While I wish they'd bring some of these things East Coast to Walt Disney World, I love the uniqueness of some of the things out there. And unlike when we talk about Walt Disney World and we talk about how, Epcot is that festival park. We always talk about it being festival season there and from one to the other. The events we're going to talk about tonight really divide and conquer. Some are Disneyland Park, aka Magic Kingdom with the castle.
Sure.
And some are California Adventure. It's not really all focused in one place, which makes it great.
Well, let's start in January, right? Let's kind of just go chronologically, if you will, and begin in January, the beginning of the year, which is the month that we kind of fall in right now as ourselves as we're recording this, because I know that there's stuff that's actually happening as we're recording.
They do an awesome Lunar New Year celebration, and that is going to be included with park admission. It is in California Adventure, and they really do a lot of special things. One of the big things that I find that they do much more at Disneyland, they don't have like a Kid Cut Fun Stop. So when they do these holidays, they're all about arts and education. So they always have multiple craft stations set up. They're all right near each other, so you can boom, 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 do them all in a row.
Sure.
But the kids can really learn, and honestly, they do a great job with some backdrop info for adults. So Lunar New Year is no celebration. There's usually lantern making. There's some great unique food. Mickey and Minnie and friends in their Chinese costumes. And always a phenomenal Lunar New Year parade that goes through California Adventure, complete with a dragon dance and an umbrella dance. I'll give a link to our YouTube video about the Lunar New Year parade. But if you can make it to California this year, it's a January 17th through February 16th celebration. Definitely hit it up again, included in park admission.
So that runs basically from the middle of January through the middle of February. But that's not the only thing that begins in January that runs into like the middle of February.
This Sweethearts Night. This is a paid event. There are 8 nights. They run from $149 to $179. I will tell you, Disneyland special events always sell out, and they sell out quickly. So don't hesitate if you're looking for this. It's got that 6 p.m. entry, even though the park doesn't close till later. The party itself will go from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Everybody will leave with a souvenir. There's special photo ops. And then they've got a love dance party, a sweetheart cavalcade, a royal ball, and some great character options. Donald and Daisy pose together. One that you really don't see at all is Princess Leia posing with Han Solo.
There you go.
Clarabelle and Horace together for you. Of course, Mickey and Minnie. And then another great unique opportunity, Indiana Jones and Marion.
Nice.
So definitely a fun character night to celebrate love.
And Harrison Ford pulling double duty there. Gotta love it. But that's not all for February. We got some other stuff going on in February too.
They do 2 days of a gospel celebration in California Adventure. And this one actually, while I say California Adventure, it really goes out into downtown Disney and into the parks. One of the in-park highlights, in addition to multiple gospel musical acts. If you head into California Adventure, they have a celebration of Floyd Norman. He is an incredible Imagineer. I've had the opportunity actually to have dinner with him one night and hear all about his time with Disney and his love for animation. I follow him on social. He is just a wonderful human and talks about breaking the barriers as a Black artist back in the day, joining Disney. Obviously, the movie Soul is based on some gospel and some jazz. And then again, we know that Soul has that Joe Gardner lookalike performing every night
Sure,
in the
yeah.
lobby.
Yeah.
But for the month of February in the Disneyland Resort, they have a gospel choir singing in the lobby. So a lot of fun to catch that in the evenings to kind of add to your experience. And again, all of those items are part of a free experience.
So one of the things that obviously is a huge draw to Epcot is their food and wine festival, and that tends to fall, somewhere in the fall, right? And that's not really what we get here in California. We get a food and wine experience kind of in the winter-ish going into the spring.
So typically, when it becomes Flower and Garden Festival in Walt Disney World, we don't have one of those in California. As we kick off food and wine, as we kick off Flower and Garden in Walt Disney World, we kick off food and wine in Disneyland. So, a great thing again, this is going to be in California Adventure for 2025, February 28th through April 21st. So, almost 2 full months. If you've listened to previous episodes where I talk about food and wine, it doesn't have all the entertainment that we see in Walt Disney World. But one of the things that their food and wine festival has that I love is how I can order my food. Instead of going from kiosk to kiosk and waiting on a long line just to place my order and then picking up, I can figure out what I want the night before, get to my very first kiosk in the morning and order everything I'm going to want to eat all day. And then I go straight to the pickup line at each kiosk. It really makes it so much easier to get through everything you want in the festival. And they do have some great seminars as well, typically. And again, with that great California, I know I did a tequila class sitting right out on a patio, soaking up the sun. Good time to be out in California.
Yeah, tough to argue with that. I would think that the the order ahead would make my eyes bigger than my stomach just go crazy. But hey, you know what? To each his own. We'll see what goes.
You can stretch it out over 12 hours if you want to order just a few things to make sure that's not the case, and then get on a line, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and do a second set of orders. You can do that as well.
All right. Well, we've all got options. We've got options. So that kind of takes us through the beginning of February there, as you said, February 28th to April 21st for the Food and Wine Festival. But we didn't mean to skip over March. The festival just happens to extend through the entirety of March and into April. So let's see, what is there on the calendar in March?
This is kind of an interesting one. I'm not sure how it came about, but they do 2 90s nights. Again, this one is going to be an extra ticketed event, $149. That's 6 p.m. park entry, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. party. And again, one of the things out in Disneyland, because there are so many more locals, most of their parties include a free keepsake. So if you've been looking for your hot pink and teal bluish green fanny pack, they've got you covered. That'll be this year's keepsake. And they bring out some of the nostalgic characters from Disney Afternoons, Disney 90s movies, and of course, we go back to the Golden Horseshoe with a great sing-along.
Nice. So this next couple things is really rooted in Star Wars. So I want to talk about the footprint that Star Wars has on the West Coast when they do these 2 very specific things that we're going to talk about right now.
It's pretty small. I found that there are not a lot of Star Wars fans in our country.
Yeah, no, it's a small intellectual property they got for a measly price.
So again, one of the things that I love is things that are free.
Yeah.
So the very first one is March 28th through May 11th. So a good 6 week window there. And they dub that the Season of Force. And with that, nightly, there is a special band that performs Fire of the Rising Moon back in Batu. They do a projection on the Batu rocks,
Oh, nice.
special galactic music, a fireworks display, and then over in Tomorrowland, they bring in Hyperspace Mountain. That all creates that Season of Force, again, included in admission for everybody to see and take part in.
Very cool. Very cool. But the next stuff is a paid experience. It's an add-on. And it kind of stretches in, like, starts in April and then stretches way past May the 4th, which is cool. It's Star Wars Nights, which I think is a really cool thing to add in.
It is, and I have to say, one of the coolest things is Mickey and Miss Minnie's outfits for the day.
Yeah.
They both have these cute little jackets, and then Mickey is in blue with an R2D2 on him as his shirt, and Minnie's got that famous orange and gray color combo that we're used to in all things Star Wars. So they definitely are decked out for the evening. This is another ticketed party. There are 8 Star Wars nights. And of course, one of them is on May the 4th.
Right.
Tickets go on sale in just a few days on January 30th, 2025. May the 4th will sell out in
Immediately.
usually about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say run Disney times.
Run Disney kind of times.
Yeah.
$169 for the night. Again, 6 p.m. park admission as that mix in with other guests, and then 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. for the actual event. Well, it is about a Star Wars night. There are more things than Batu open for you. They do have a lightsaber training that everybody can take part in, a gathering of the resistance that Ray holds, a special cosplay showcase. So lots of fun. Again, there is a souvenir keepsake, and that is one per person, not one per party. So lots of great options, but this is definitely the ticket you need to jump on. And I would also be remiss if I didn't say, for all of these events, there are special menus. They've teased one of the things for this year, which is a scoop of ice cream with 2 small cinnamon buns on the side to make Princess Leia
Nice.
ice cream and Danish. So how could you go wrong?
No, you can't. You can't. Carrie Fisher, we love you. Thank you. Thank you for all of that. But that's not the end of May, right? We do have some other stuff in May that is on their calendar.
So Disneyland began its history back in May, and in May, beginning on May 16th, we will kick off the 70th anniversary of Disneyland.
Crazy.
And I know that these 2 slogans, people kind of don't even necessarily realize that there are 2 of them. Disneyland is known as the happiest place on earth, where Walt Disney World, we hear about it as the most magical place on earth.
Sure.
I know everybody uses them interchangeably. We don't have a lot of info on what special things they're bringing out for the 70th. I'm not sure how it's the 70th. I feel like I was just there for the 60th. It comes quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
The great thing, we know they're going to have all new outfits for the characters, some special themed items, plenty of souvenirs to choose from. And I hope they bring back some of that old nostalgia. We usually see some of the kind of that old time bands come back and things like that. But this is their theme. This isn't a unique couple of nights celebration. We know that they're big on themes and what are they celebrating. And so this is going to start May 16th, 2025, and will run all the way through summer 2026. So we've got about a 15-month celebration here. 70 years is something of an accomplishment.
Yeah.
So we're going to enjoy. And I know we'll see that new Walt animatronic coming. Lots of great things ahead for the year.
Well, in typical Disney too, it's not just a year celebration. It'll go it'll go more than a full year to celebrate the 70th. But when you're doing these things, that's the smartest way to do it. So that's exciting for folks. I think that animatronic is going to be a hit. I think they're going to do well with that one. I think it's going to it's going to make some people happy.
I think he'll be
I
good.
think so. So going into June, we've got we got one paid experience that I know you wanted to talk about in June.
June 16th and 18th are going to be Pride Nights filled with special fireworks. Again, adorable outfits for the characters that only come out those 2 nights of the year. Line dancing experience for all guests. Specialty food, obviously lots of rainbow sprinkles to go around. Again, that's going to be that ticketed event. We don't have the on sale date for it yet, but we do know it's going to be that 6 p.m. general admission, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. party.
And that falls on June 16th and 18th. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So July, obviously, there's nothing that's currently listed. Obviously, the 4th of July is celebrated across the Disney parks here in the United States in a major way. There's a significant patriotic tie to any kind of American holiday. But we're not going to talk about that now. We're going to go to August, which when you think of August, you definitely think of Halloween, right? Well, in Disney terms, that is where we begin celebrating Halloween.
Funny. I say there's some things about this job that give me a unique skew on the calendar.
Correct. Yeah.
Both what year we're in and when holidays fall. And Halloween does fall in August on both coasts. Oogie Boogie Bash, which is held in California Adventure, has a whopping 31 nights.
If it was only something that was popular.
August 17th to October 31st. So pretty much every 2.5 days,
right,
we've got an Oogie Boogie Bash. And again, it is something that sells out very quickly, especially obviously Halloween night, but all of the weekends. If this is on your bucket list or your general vacation planning list, don't wait. Tickets are $134 to $189 when they go on sale. And again, every night will sell out. They will sell out much quicker in Disneyland than in Walt Disney World. So don't give up on that. It is more about the scare. Unlike Walt Disney World, where we do a lot more that is fun, Oogie Boogie has a lot more dedicated to the villains. It does have trick-or-treating, but for instance, they've got a Villains Groove party, a Frightfully Fun parade. Of course, it wouldn't be an Oogie Boogie Bash without an Oogie Boogie appearance. Characters in their Halloween outfits, but this one, again, little bit more of a scare factor to it.
So it's interesting, though, because the 17th is that first party, the Oogie Boogie Bash, the first bash, excuse me. But then we really don't see full-fledged Halloween out in California until the 22nd, right, of August. That's the plan?
I mean, they hold out a big 5 days there.
Listen, I mean, you got to turn it around.
August 22nd to October 31st in Disneyland Park is Halloween time. So that's about seeing the decorations. Again, you will see some character changes, often a change in the parade. And that is an overlay. One of the biggest things that they are known for is their Haunted Mansion overlay for the holidays. They do a couple of really neat things there. So that is going to be kind of that complimentary decoration included in park admission.
Right. Okay. But that's not the only thing that begins in late August. So we've got a couple of things going on at the same time.
So concurrent with all of that, August 22nd to November 2nd, we have a celebration of Coco in a Frenda setup and understanding that culture and celebrating their culture, everything from their music to how they honor those who have passed.
Very cool. Okay. Whew, I feel like we got there so fast. There's so many things that go on throughout the year, and then before you know it, we're right back at the holiday season in Disneyland.
it's always a holiday season. But
Well,
this one is, as you've pointed out, the holiday
yeah,
season.
sure.
Again, I know I say this all the time, but I love the holidays in Disneyland. Maybe it's because when you're in California Adventure, they have Festival of the Holidays that runs November 14th to January 7th. And they have different stages for every different winter celebration. And you can see Hanukkah things and Kwanzaa things and Christmas things. But the true highlight of my day, the toy soldiers march multiple times every single day.
That's cool.
Um, and again, such great weather there that these are all outdoor stages, some that have great seating. You can really relax and get in the holiday spirit. Crafts for kids, all of those things over in California Adventure, all free. And then in Disneyland Park, they do the holidays begin here. And again, that's going to be that makeover where we're seeing the Christmas tree going up and all of the different decorations, the difference in the parade. And for those of you who are Jewish or just like a little bit of an I Spy, take a walk down Main Street and see if you can spot the menorah in the window.
Very nice. Well, listen, we've kind of gone through the year here. It's a daunting task, and for folks that are looking at it and saying, "When can I get there?" Take a look at this calendar that we've laid out and see if there's a specific thing that speaks to you. Maybe it is one of those Star Wars nights, or maybe it's Oogie Boogie Bash, or a Pride night, or even perhaps the holidays, right? So think about what works for you. Get in touch with the travel specialists so they can make it happen. But before we say goodnight tonight, is there anything else that you think is worth mentioning?
I think as importantly as what you just said about thinking about which of these you might love and taking part in them, especially if you only have 1, maybe 2 days, is knowing when these are and possibly avoiding them.
Right.
If you're not taking part in them and you don't have young kids, so you're staying up a little later and you're trying to get in those big full days, yes, only one park is closing early for these events. However, unlike Walt Disney World, when Magic Kingdom closes for the not so scary Halloween party, there are 3 other parks that everybody can visit.
Yeah, you're not hitting
Here,
that in California.
everybody's going to one spot.
Right.
So again, we can plan around it. We can plan with it, whatever works for you. But again, I love their holiday celebrations. I encourage you, if you've been there before, pick a holiday you haven't celebrated. If you've never been, let's find one that's great for you because they can be so much fun.
Well, Sandy, I appreciate you taking the time to break down the 2025 event calendar over in California at Disneyland. Have a great week this week.
You too.
And that's a wrap this week on Let's Talk Diz. If anyone you know could benefit from this or any show, please share, have them like, and subscribe. And don't forget to reach out to the folks at Easy Diz by Instant Impressions Travel Services for any Disney destination planning. Make it a great week, and as always, keep making memories.